What is up, guys? Welcome not back to another video. Welcome to a podcast. I am here with
Nick. Hi, Kendall. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm dandy. I'm ready.
And I think we should talk about America's Got Talent today.
I think that's a great idea. What about it?
Well, we just barely started a new season. What was it, like 3 weeks ago, I think, the new season
Yeah, 4
started?
weeks ago. I think it was around Memorial Day, maybe? No, it was a little bit later. 3-4 weeks ago. Something like that.
So we've had some good and bad acts come through. But also this season, we had a judge change, a couple judge changes.
We did. Okay. I really liked Mel and Heidi. I thought that they were the perfect addition to what was already there with Howie and Howard Stern at the time. But recently, in the past couple seasons, Mel B just really annoyed me so much.
She was just displeased with every act. Do you remember last season? She was like, it was too good. I didn't like it because it was too good.
Yes, I was at your house and we were flabbergasted.
How is it too good?
Heidi was too sweet. But also, why were there no American judges on the America's Got Talent judging panel? That never made sense to me either.
Well, I mean, then you could also ask, why do the people from the Philippines and Africa and Asia come to America's Got Talent and perform?
You're right. Yeah. But yes, we did have a judges change. So now we have Gabrielle Union and Julianne Hough. I like them. They haven't really been giving me much. I think that Heidi and Mel B gave me some more entertainment. These girls haven't been giving me much, but I like them. They're nice. They're happy.
Yeah, they're nice. I mean, they like you said, they haven't done enough for me to really form an opinion on them, but I don't dislike them.
Me either. I have always liked Julianne Hough. She was on Dancing with the Stars. She even judged on Dancing with the Stars. And I've heard of Gabrielle Union. I know a lot of people really like her with the TV shows and everything that she does. So I think it's pretty cool that they had new judges. But yeah, they haven't really been giving me anything this season to fangirl over, really.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm still very much a fan of Howie and Simon. I like Simon Cowell a lot. And I also like Howie. I think he's pretty funny sometimes. He can get annoying too, but I don't want them to replace him. I feel like he's a staple on the judges panel.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about Howie, and I think this kind of showed last season, he really likes the really stupid acts that should not go through at all. And he pushes for them to go through, don't quote me on this, I could be wrong, but do you remember the guys who did the spitting act last year?
Oh my god,
and
yes.
He loved it, and I thought it was so disgusting. That was the most disgusting thing I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
and
they were bad.
It was terrible. It was so bad. It should have gotten 4 no's, but instead they went through. And I was like, really? This is America's Got Talent.
Yes.
We are looking for talented individuals and groups, not people who are spitting liquids on each other.
I know.
That annoyed me so much last season.
You just introduced one of the next topics, which is who they let through. So we should just talk about that.
Yeah.
Because some of it is just unbelievable. They rarely do these now on AGT, but I remember back in the day, they would have so many bad audition reels, when they show a bunch of bad auditions in a row, and it's they weren't even that bad. It was a magician and they're oh, we've seen this before, or a singer and be oh, you were a little off pitch, but they could still go through and improve. But this season and the past couple of seasons, they have been letting the stupidest acts through. There was someone on this season who, don't get me wrong, was pretty funny, but they karaoke'd the song Tequila.
Oh, yes.
Like, literally stood there for 3 minutes and said, tequila, like, every minute. It's like, that is not talent. As much as it is entertaining, you should not put that in the running for $1 million and crush someone else's dream who actually has talent.
Yes, like, that goes back to the stupid acts and stuff that always go through. And, like, it's just so annoying. And, like, stuff like that, like the tequila and all that, allows more people to come in next season and do the same exact thing.
Exactly. People think that they can, like, dress up and do whatever on that stage, and they're like, let me make a fool out of myself, and it works. Like, do you remember last season, the singing Donald Trump?
Yes.
Like, no talent there whatsoever, but they let it through just because it's, like, quote unquote entertaining. And, like, I personally think, like, just because you're entertaining doesn't mean you have talent.
Yeah,
like,
one of the things that is kind of also annoying or kind of stupid is that, like, when they actually start getting into, like, not even the second round, like, the third round, and then the judges are like, well, we're looking, to see if you could have a show. Y'all should be looking at that from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
From the very first round. Y'all should be like, do I think this person could have a really good show? Y'all should not wait until you put these mediocre acts through and then be like, I don't think you could have a show, so you can't make it through to the next round. You should have been known that from the first time he said tequila.
Right.
Said that was funny, but four no's.
Right. And when it gets to that point, like as you're saying, after the judges, like they don't think far in advance, when it gets to the point where America has to vote, that's when it gets screwed up, because now you're giving us all these stupid acts, and it's like, what are we supposed to do as America? Like, America doesn't make the best decisions all the time either. So give us those good, deserving acts that deserve a show, and maybe the outcome won't be as bad as it usually is sometimes.
Yeah, like, I think even the people who vote, I mean, I know, you just vote for whoever you want. But, like, when I vote, I am genuinely thinking, with the exception of Flage, I was really just rooting for Flage.
We stand Flage.
But, like, when I vote, I really do think, like, would I want to see this person live in a show? And if I wouldn't want to see them, like, if I don't think they would have a good show, I'm not going to put in my 10 votes for them. Or however many votes it is. I'm not going to vote for them.
Completely agree. I completely agree.
Like, the pet acts, they're cute, but it's just not going to work. It just will not work. Nobody's going to want to see that. Nobody's going to pull up to the casino and be like, ooh, they have Hero and Sarah today. Let's go see that. Be like, girl, bye.
Yeah. Hero and Sarah were probably the best animal act that they had, but I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, they don't think about that. They're like, oh, that's cute, or oh, that's funny, but they never think like we're really giving the $1 million and a Las Vegas show to these people. Like, do they realize what they're giving away?
They do not think that at all. It's kind of sad.
This season there was someone with a rat, a trained rat. I was like, you're gonna give a rat $1 million?
Or when they had the chicken that played the piano.
Yes, like, you could find just as talented rat on the street of New York.
Have you seen, this is so off topic, but have you seen the Jay Versace tweet after the earthquakes in California, and he was like, I would rather be back in New York with the rats backflipping off my bed than be here right now.
Yes, you sent that to me. The rats from Stranger Things were more talented than the rats on America's Got Talent.
Like, ugh. I just hate those acts. I hate those stupid acts. Not the pets. I think the pets are cute. But you gotta think in the long run. Will people really want to see this in a show? Like, I would love to go see some of the singers, like, that are on the show.
Singers. That's a great Next topic. Who's like a good singer that came from America's Got Talent that you like?
Like that's popular now?
Or like anything. Like, do you have like a memorable singer?
Okay, I can't remember that far back. So, the only season I really remember was last season.
Mm-hmm.
And this season, obviously. Okay, who was it? Celine? She was my favorite. I think that was the season before last, right? Or
yeah.
no, was that last season?
Was it? I don't think so.
It was the one that Preacher was in.
Oh, maybe it was last season then.
I don't remember.
Whatever.
But Celine was great. Angelica, yes, she was good. But I just liked Celine better. Celine was cuter. Angelica, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but you just gave me some bad vibes.
Well, who was invited to AGT The Champions? Was it Celine or Angelica
I don't care.
Hale?
I'm talking about vibes. Darcy was a really good singer. Darcy was really good.
Mm-hmm. How about, do you remember Grace Vanderwall?
What season? I know who you're talking about, but I never actually heard her.
It was a couple seasons ago. She was pretty good. But those kinds of singers, like Celine, Angelica, Darcy, Grace.
That other girl. She's a different kind of singer, but do you remember the girl?
Courtney Hadwin.
Yes.
The rock singer.
Yeah, whatever she did.
Now, those singers, they have a place. Like you said before, you are completely right to enjoy those singers. You said you enjoy some singers. You're allowed to. But there are just some singers that go onto America's Got Talent, and I'm like, why are you there?
You know why they're there? I'll tell you.
Why?
Because they sit at home and they go sing for their parents and they go sing for their friends and their family members. And their friends and family are so fake that they don't tell them that they can't sing. They're hyping them up. Ooh, that was so good. Bars, vocals, that was so good. You should go on America's Got Talent. Mm-hmm. And then they go on there and they sound awful and they're like, well, I think I'm a great singer. My whole family thinks I'm a great singer. Yeah, they say you're great because they're too scared. They're too nice, I guess, to tell you that you can't sing.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand. There's like 3 types of singers that go on America's Got Talent. It's those interesting singers that wouldn't make it on any other show, the singers that are god awful that you just mentioned, and then singers that are absolutely normal. The problem with AGT and their singers is that they're all normal. I am not watching America's Got Talent to see a normal singer or singer, period. If I wanted to watch someone sing, I would turn on American Idol, The Voice, X Factor, The Four. I would turn on any other singing show on TV. I am turning on America's Got Talent to watch variety acts and people that I wouldn't see on those other shows. And that is the number one thing that annoys me about America's Got Talent, is all the dang singers that make it to the live shows because of the judges and their irrational choices.
Yes.
End of story. Period.
Well, I don't watch those other shows.
Right.
But I've complained to you about this a ton of times. I don't mind the singers as like a whole. I don't mind having singers on the show. Mm-hmm. It's just that I wish there were some soulful singers on there. I'm not talking about the choirs or anything. We can talk about the choirs in a second.
Yeah, we can.
But I'm just talking about singers in general. I don't want to be that person, but a lot of the soulful singers are the black singers that get on the show. And yes. I would just love to have, a nice little teen girl just come up on the show and sing something other than some slow song, some mellow song. I would love to hear a different type of song sung on the show. Oh my goodness, we get the same and I And just all these little basic songs, like, okay, I get it. You want to show off your vocals, but we don't need another Shawn Mendes. We need, like, another, I don't even know who. We need another Beyonce out here. We have too many Shawn Mendeses on this show. We need some more Beyoncés on here.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Those interesting singers, like even the opera singers, they're incredible, but you don't see opera singers going on American Idol, which is why I welcome them to America's Got Talent. I welcome those soulful singers. I welcome like those jazz bands that are always on. Like there's at least one group of jazz band black singers on America's Got Talent every single season. And it's like, I like those acts, but just like when you have that standard like, ooh, shy guy with a guitar that's writing songs for the first time, like Shawn Mendes type of person on America's Got Talent, like I don't care for you at all. I could watch any other TV show that I want, but I'm not gonna find that group of chubby black men singing some jazz songs anywhere else on TV.
Exactly.
That is what America's Got Talent is for. And it annoys me that it's like by the end, by the finals, the final 6, it's like 4 out of the 6 of them are singers. And that's exactly what it has been for the past couple of seasons. Even on AGT The Champions with the All-Stars. Out of all the All-Stars that were on all of those seasons of America's Got Talent around the world too, they had so many singers in their finale. I was like, why am I watching this? And it's like they're not special singers. Like I think Susan Boyle, you know Susan Boyle. She's like a great singer. She deserves to be there. But it's just some normal singers there. It's like, why? Like, I don't know. That's just me though.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about like the basic singers and all. And like even the choirs, like I also complained about this to you. But the choirs are good. A lot of the choirs are good. Yeah. But they also, there are some that switch it up and they sound amazing. Or it's nice to see something switched up. Like the Detroit kids from this season. I already told you. They didn't sound all that great. But it was good because it was different. It wasn't another Greatest Showman. Look at the light, here I come. Or another, let it go, let it go. It was something different. And if they keep doing this different stuff, they're gonna go through. But you cannot come on here. And even last season, that kids choir was not good. But this is also another thing that I hate, and we can talk about this later.
Okay.
Children on this show.
Just children.
We're actually, let's talk about it now, because I don't have anything. Or you say what you have to say about the choirs before I go ranting about children on this show.
I like the choirs for the most part. I just don't like it when there's more than one, because then it's like, okay, you saw one choir, and then you're gonna like bring your choir. The thing about a choir is that you can all sound good together. Like for my school musical, we don't all sound good individually, but when you put us together, you know, we can harmonize, we can sound good. That's the same thing with a choir. You get the little short kid in the back to start singing a solo, he's not going to sound good. He only sounds good because he's with 40 other people. That's my problem with the choirs. But if they're entertaining, if they give me the chills, then that's good. Like, I really liked the Detroit choir, the one that was singing Can't Hold Us. I really liked them. I liked one of the choirs from last season too. Like, when I listened to them, they would give me the chills. But it's just like, when you can tell that there's some weak links among the group and you can hear the faults in the voices, it's just like, it just takes that one kid in the choir to ruin the whole choir for me.
I agree.
That's my problem with the choirs. But I don't have major issues. Like, they're welcome, in my opinion. You don't see choirs in any other singing shows, but that's my problem with them.
Yeah, I think the adult choirs are all usually, like, from what I've seen, the adult choirs are good. It's the children's choirs where it starts fluctuating a little bit. But children on this show. I don't remember what season it was. I feel like it was recently. There was this little girl, like little, like I swear she was probably like 3 or 4, like barely talking. And she went on there singing. And she was not good by any means. Like, she literally sounded like any old little kid off the street singing a song. Like, you could have grabbed the child sitting next to you in the seats in the audience and been like, can you sing that for me real quick? And it would have sounded exactly the same. She just sounded like a normal kid singing. But everyone loved it, and she went through because the judges, it has, those judges really, like, you should not be a judge if you genuinely thought that was good. They feel too bad telling 3-year-old Sally that she cannot go through, that it took until America could vote for her to not be on the show anymore. And we need some judges on here that can be like, I'm sorry, Betty Sue, you're cute, but the vocals were just not there. Because now Betty Sue has stolen Flage's spot.
Yeah. Poor Flage.
Stolen the spot from someone who actually had talent just because she was a little kid. And that is another thing that irks me about this show.
Yeah. So, there was, for me, my little children's story. There was, I think, 2 seasons ago, it was a dancing couple. It was 2 little kids, and they were super talented. Don't get me wrong. One of them even became one of the pro dancers on Dancing with the Stars Junior.
Is it the little boy? The little black boy?
Yes, Artyom. He was on like Lip Sync Battle, Shorties too. He was really talented, but he was on America's Got Talent with their names were Paige and Artyom, right? And they were so good. But when it came time, they put them through to the live shows. And I was just like, why? There is no logical explanation as to why they put them through to the live shows besides the fact that they were children. And that is a guarantee, because I'm not doubting the fact that they were talented, because they were very talented. They were very talented dancers. But like, when you just saw the other acts you were put against, I really think I like face palmed, and I was like, why? They're kids. And it's like, if you're too afraid to say no to them, then like, why are you even letting children this young be on the show to begin with?
Yes. I never even thought of that. Because you could literally just throw your kid on the stage, be like, go sing the ABCs. And they're going to get 4 yeses because they're a little kid. And this plays into my sob stories too. If you show up on that stage with a sob story, it is a guarantee that you are going to make it to the live shows. Guarantee. Yeah. Maybe even a golden buzzer. And here's the thing. I don't want anyone to be like, oh my gosh, like, why are you hating on these people? Like, they've been through all this. Yes, I understand that. I understand that you have been through trials and tribulations in your life. And I'm here to sympathize, whatever. I'm here with you on that. I understand that. But you could leave that story out. And I think it's better for you to just, like, let's say I'm a singer, right? Because they're all singers.
They're always singers.
I'm a singer, and someone very close to me passed away, like from some unforeseen circumstance. I go up there, I'm like, I'm a singer, I love to sing, my blah, blah, blah passed away. And then I was, let's send her through. I could be a terrible singer, but I had a sob story, and that's all that matters. I had a sob story. I think it's better for you to see, am I really talented, if you go up there and you just don't mention it.
Right. Like, if you put those singers on The Voice where you have no clue who's singing, will they make it through? Half the time is they probably won't, because they're not special. They're not special. And some of those sob stories are just like, I have anxiety or whatever, which is a complete problem in America. And I believe that everybody with anxiety and with depression and people that get bullied in school, I believe that that should be treated, and it's a really serious issue. But like when you lead with that, it's like, of course people are going to pity you.
Yeah. Like, I feel like if it truly does affect your performance, then you mention it. Like the kid, I think he's blind and autistic. Is he deaf too?
God. No, he's not. But that was an amazing performance.
He was really good.
That is not a sob story.
But that, I'm saying, like, that plays into his performance. He's blind and autistic. It makes sense to bring it up. But like that band from either last season or 2 seasons ago, that like group of siblings and one of their parents had cancer and passed away. That's very sad. Don't get me wrong. But like, what does that have to do with your performance?
Right.
Nothing. It has nothing to do with it. So why even bring it up?
Or like the girl last season, she was deaf. Do you remember? She had to like take her shoes off to like hear the beat. But she was an incredible singer. That's an example of something that is not a sob story. But as you said, when you have someone and it's like, I don't know, like, you know, oh, my granny really loved this guitar and I'm playing it in her honor tonight. Oh, golden buzzer. Like, no.
Yes, exactly. It just makes no sense to bring it up if it doesn't have anything that changes your performance or like would make your performance harder or anything.
And it really is almost every single act. Like, you hear before like whatever major audition is coming up, they always do like a video package. Almost every single act has a story. Like, you never hear like, you know, a normal old Billy from, you know, somewhere in the middle of Pennsylvania that like goes to school and has so many friends. Like, you never hear those people. They always have some type of story, which I love to hear about most of the times. But it's just like, then they become the kid that got bullied at school. Oh, did you see the kid that got bullied at school on America's Got Talent last night? Oh, did you see the girl whose grandmother passed away last night? Did you hear the girl with the incredible voice that was playing the piano on America's Got Talent last night? Like,
exactly.
That's when the sob stories come through.
Exactly. I know I'm saying like everything annoys me about the show, but I think that truly is, that and the children are truly the two things that annoy me the most about that show.
I'm still with the singers as the number one thing that annoys me, but like most of the sob stories go hand in hand with the singers. So
like, that is just, oh my goodness. Like, stop trying to earn brownie points from this. Like, just go and sing. Just sing. You don't have to add all this dialogue in there. Just be like, hi, I'm Kendall, I'm gonna sing for you today. Oh, okay, sounds good. Hi, I'm Kendall, my shoelaces broke on my way here and the wheel hopped off of my car on the drive. Oh. Let's send her through. I feel kind of bad for her.
Yeah.
Let's send her through. That was a really good act.
Okay, like, I know we're talking a lot about the sob stories. Once again, complete disclaimer, we're not discrediting anybody's like life stories and how not important their life and what, you know, trauma they've been to contributes to anything, whatever. It is really when those sob stories affect how they get through. That is the main issue we're pushing here with this thing. It's like, if they have a sob story but really deserve it, that's okay. But if they have a sob story and really don't deserve it, that's the main issue that I think both of us are harping upon.
Yes, and I'm sure someone's gonna be like, you know, everyone deserves it, like blah blah blah, they've been through all this. No, they don't. They really don't. Cody, I think that's his name, he deserves it. He's amazing, and that plays into his act. I think it's the little boy that plays the violin and the guy that played the violin last season. Don't they kind of have like the same thing with the hands? Something like that.
Oh, I don't know what you're referring. I know the people. I know both people you're referring to, but I don't know the issue.
Okay, I don't know exactly what the issue is with the boy, but I remember the guy from last season, like he could possibly or is going to lose all feeling in his hands.
Oh, yeah.
That plays into the act. But that little band, the group of kids, or they were like young adults, whose I'm pretty sure their mother passed away. I think she had cancer or something like that.
I think you're right.
They were just like a run-off-the-mill little folk indie band. I personally did not think that they were that good. I'm not saying they were bad, but they were not that good. Like, they could have made it through a couple rounds, but they made it through a few more because of this story. That's what we're trying to say, is like pretty much exactly what Nicholas said. I was just giving a couple of examples.
No, yeah, good to clarify. Because I most of the time really, really, really do feel bad for them. But it's just like after listening to them, it's like,
Yeah.
nothing special.
Exactly. And that's also like the golden buzzers that they give.
I was just going to bring up that part of the story because that's another big factor with the sob stories, is that one sob story leads right to a golden buzzer.
Yeah, we've talked about this before too. My question about the golden buzzers is, it's like, what if you use your golden buzzer on, like, I don't know, the 10th act of, who knows, 100 acts of the day, and then you get to, like, the 80th, and you're like, I would have loved to use my golden buzzer on this person instead.
Yes. I think you just know. Like, I think that's why a lot of the times golden buzzers are used on people with sob stories like that. I think you just genuinely know. Like, you have a feeling in your heart, no matter how good or bad the act is. It's like, a lot of the judges, you can tell sometimes, they're like, they deserve it because of what they've been through.
I see. I can see that.
Yeah. I think that can't really pinpoint golden buzzers. Like, the golden buzzer this year with the kid with autism, that golden buzzer, that's an amazing golden buzzer. Deserves the golden buzzer because that is just, like, absolutely incredible how someone who, like, could barely even speak a sentence can sing so incredibly like that. Completely deserves a golden buzzer. I don't know. Like,
okay, I just looked it up on YouTube. Golden buzzer. This is from last week. This is from this season. Dancer strips for Simon and gives himself a golden buzzer. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I don't think that one counted.
I was about to scream. Did he go through?
I don't remember.
Those are the stupid acts that end up going through. I'm trying to see, like, if there's, like, a playlist where I can see all the golden buzzers.
There definitely is one.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, you can go first.
I was just going to say real quick, one thing that I do, I guess, about, like, people that go through, I really do wish more comedians went through. Yes. Except for the Vicky. Trailer park lady.
Vicky, I just said Vicky.
Because you knew I didn't like her. I didn't think she was funny at all. And I mean, I must be wrong because everyone else thought she was funny. But I didn't think she was funny at all. I thought Preacher and Samuel were hilarious.
Yes.
So funny.
Vicky was not funny. Her first audition was pretty funny. It was pretty solid. That's what got her through. But the rest of them, it was like they were doing it for her. Like, it was like, oh, Vicky's on stage. It's not like Vicky's doing comedy on stage. It's like Vicky is standing there. And it's like, yay. But no. I love Preacher. And I love Samuel. So much. Samuel J. Comroe is one of, I think, if, like, maybe not the funniest, or, like, one of the funniest comedians that have ever come off of America's Got Talent, in my opinion. I subscribe to his YouTube channel. I watch his comedy shows. Like, whatever he uploads to his YouTube channel, I watch him. He is so funny. Like, it is completely my type of humor. Preacher Lawson too. Preacher was great on America's Got Talent. I think, like, you can disagree with me, and you did disagree with me, but I think that his last performance, he absolutely blew it, in my opinion. That's just me. But, like, he was so good too. But there are, like, some comedians that just don't go through, and I wish they did. They can have, like, one dud performance, and that's it for them. But talking about comedians and bringing back the topic of golden buzzers, a comedian is like a fun act. The thing that I like about the golden buzzers is when a fun act goes through. I like it when I wait the entire 2 hours of America's Got Talent, and then the last act is something fun, and I'm like, yes, this is the golden buzzer. When it's like a nice dance crew, or I think last season I think it might have been like the Light Balance dance crew 2 seasons ago or something, and it was Tyra's golden buzzer, and she gave it to them. Like, they didn't have a sob story, they just were amazing. That's it, and they went through. I love it when, like, a fun act like that goes through, or an act that really wows you, and it was like, there's no story. The only story that they have is their ambition to make it somewhere, you know?
Like,
I love it when that happens.
The dance crews always have the same story, like what you said. Like, they I guess you could kind of call it a sob story, but not really. It's like a lot of the times the dance crews always like they come from nothing. And they're like, we're just on here because we really want to make it big. And those are the types of stories I like to hear. Just like you said, I just want to see someone who really wants to make it big. And the dance crews always come through. The dance crews always come through. They are so good every season. They are amazing. Like, was it Junior, whoever from last season, with the heels, and even the group of young guys that did like the newer dances, like the viral dances. Like, that's the kind of stuff I love to see on America's Got Talent nowadays. Like, the viral dances and the viral songs, like how the kids from Detroit did like a little kind of hip-hoppy rap song. I loved seeing Flage because it was nice. I don't think I've ever seen a rapper on America's Got Talent before, like a person who's actually kind of serious about it, not like some Chad from the suburbs who thinks he can rap. And like, I just love to see when acts come on the show and do like new, like modern type of things. Like, if a singer came on the show and actually sang like a real new song, like a radio song, I would love to hear it. But they don't do that. They pick like some old relatable song or some old song that has like the best vocals ever that was sung by the greatest singer ever, and like, yes, I got the same vocals, let's do this. But I would love to hear like I'm just going to the store, I'm just going to the store, or like a little Ariana Grande or a Beyonce song or something like that. Like, I just need some updated acts on this show.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about golden buzzers, sob stories. Sob stories really does cover a lot of things. It leads to golden buzzers and whatnot. Just before we get into the next topic, which I have, like, what are your favorite acts to see on the show? Like, I'm just curious, because I've told you mine are magicians and like just fun ones, but like mostly magicians are my favorite things. You don't seem to like the magicians all that much, but like, what are your favorite acts?
My favorite acts, I have 3. I like singers, dancers, and comedians.
Okay.
But I will say quickly, and it's just going to be quick, I don't have any ideas for exactly what, but I do wish there was a bigger variety of acts, because I feel like as long as the show has been on air, it's been stuck between magicians, comedians, singers, dancers, and then just the little crazy things. So I don't know what, but I wish there was a bigger variety.
And the problem with what you just said is that somewhere down the line, all of those people you mentioned will narrow down to like one dance crew, 4 singers, and like a comedian. It's like there's like barely any diversity. Like I really like the variety acts. That's what I was trying to say before with the whole singer situation. Like I didn't come to watch a singer or like someone basic. I came to watch like someone that like can't do this anywhere else. Like that should maybe that should be like some other like topic or show or rule. Like if you can apply to another show, you can't apply here.
Then you would have only magicians and comedians and idiots on the show.
Well, then maybe that's my type of show. Because I love the magicians and I love the comedians. I cannot even agree with you one bit. I do not like the singers.
Okay, but like, magicians wise, I'm not dissing any of the magicians. I think they're really good. Mm-hmm. But if they did get rid of the singers and dancers, and you were only stuck with comedians, magicians, and the other little random acts, mm-hmm. How many magicians on this show are actually good? There's only like 2 good magicians every season.
Okay, yes.
And there's only like maybe 2 good comedians every season.
Mm-hmm. So my thing with magicians is that there's two different types of magicians. There's like up close card magic magicians, like the ones that are like, let me join you down at the judges table. Like there's those kind of magicians, but then there's magicians that I personally like Matt Franco. I don't know if you remember Matt Franco. That might be before you started watching America's Got Talent, but he was incredible. He has a show in Las Vegas right now. I don't know if he won. I think he might have won or got second or something. I think he won. He's incredible. Like his magic is crazy, like almost like David Blaine kind of crazy magic. Like he's really, really good. And then there's like those closer up magicians that I like too, like Shin Lim. Like he was an incredible magician, but it's like, I don't know. I guess you're right when there's like too many of them. Like how many can I watch? But I'm really talking about like the magicians that wow me. Like I don't know if you consider them magicians, but remember the clairvoyants?
What was that?
That was the ones where it's like they can read people's mind. Like all they had to do was like the wife was like blindfolded, and then like Henri, I don't remember his name, he would like touch something and she would feel it and she would be able to guess.
No, I don't remember that.
They're really good. They were on AGT The Champions too. Like she like held Simon's credit, or he held Simon's credit card, and like she could sense the numbers on his credit card. Like it was crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, like they're really good. I don't know if you consider those people magicians. Like
yeah, I would say that's a magician.
Yeah, I mean I like the magicians. I get what you're saying though. Like you can't have too many, but that's also how I feel about singers. Like you can't have too many singers. Yeah.
No, I didn't mean like you can't have too many of them. I meant like how many would you end up having? Like how many are actually good? Right. Mm-hmm. Like the same thing with the comedians. Like how many are actually funny?
Yeah.
But I think one of our last little points is about the big acts, the little outside acts.
Yes, indeed. What are your opinions on them? Okay, wait, hold on. Let's clarify. The outside acts, this is like, when someone's like, I could pull a car with my teeth, or I could bungee jump into a pool of lava. Like those ones, and then like have to move the whole audience outside. Those acts, just for those listening that have no clue what we're talking about. What are your opinions?
I think they're entertaining. I think that people would want to go see a show of them. I know we said you should be thinking, would people want to go see a show? Mm-hmm. I do think that people would want to go see a show. But there's also the circus. We have the circus for acts like that. Yeah. And my big thing is, I truly don't know how much talent it takes to do stuff like this. But when you have the people that are just shooting themselves out of rockets and stuff like that, like I understand you have to have some level of training, but honestly, how hard could that possibly be? Like I'm really trying to figure out how much talent do you really need to just do a backflip out of a rocket?
Okay, I think that it's okay. with what you said. I think it's hard, but I agree with the talent part. There was one act like 2 weeks ago. Was he shooting himself out of a cannon? Is that what he was doing?
I don't know. I was thinking of the guy with the big hair from like last season. Do you remember? And like his daughter like came on or had been on the show too.
Oh.
Or he had been on it. I'll go on the channel right now.
I don't know what you're referring to, but I definitely know that there was a act this season that we were texting or talking about, and I think he was shooting out of a cannon, and we agreed that it was hard to do, but was it talent? I don't think it's talent, like having someone else shoot you out of a rocket. I don't know if it's talent. Like America's Got Talent or like America's Got Balls. Like if we get it, you have like the courage and you have you built that rocket yourself, yay. But like is it talent?
Here we go. Human fuse is that human fuse a dangerous fire flying stunt? I don't actually think I saw that.
No, we definitely did because we talked about it. Either that or like I mentioned it to you, told you about it, and we talked about it. We definitely agreed that I don't think it's talent, some of the acts that are outside, but it is entertaining, but not talent. I know that one season there was a guy that was like...
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. His name was Bello Knock.
Oh, let me look him up.
It's from 2017. And what did he do? He is shot out of a cannon over a helicopter.
Oh.
Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I remember this guy. I remember him.
But, like, come on. Come on. That can't... Like, I feel like if you have some sort of prior experience, you could probably do this. Or some sort of prior sort of training. Like I said before, I'm not saying it's not difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, is this truly a talent?
I agree.
That's just my little thought of those big outside acts. Like I said, I think they're entertaining and all. I think people would want to go see the show. But we got the circus. We're starting to get rid of the animals in the circus. We can have more people doing stuff like that.
True. I like your reasoning. I have another complaint. I have a complaint about the outdoor acts. I remember one season there was a couple of acts that they did like in this giant lake. Like I don't know where they filmed this, but it was in a giant lake, and it was people like on like water things, like like the not jet skis, but things like the water like jetpacks.
Oh,
Like they had one of those one season, and it's like it was cool what they did, but how many more times can you do that? I think that's another problem with the big outdoor acts. Like you have someone like shooting themselves out of a cannon. Okay, cool. You can like change that up, but like what can you change about using like a water jetpack or the acts? If you like ever seen like you don't even need to watch America's Got Talent. It's like like one of the high dive acts where like someone stands on a really big platform and like dives into like a tiny kiddie pool. How many times can you do that? Like, is that $1 million act? Am I going to Vegas paying $20 for like a show to watch someone dive into a kiddie pool? I could literally go to the state fair 20 minutes from my house and see it for free.
Or like even I don't think they've had a whole lot of them recently. I know they used to have quite a few. Like the guys that go on like the trampolines and do flips and then dunk the basketball. Like that's a halftime show act. That's not a Vegas act.
Yeah.
And then like even like with the whole what can you like switch up and change and stuff like that. Like the guy from this season that did the Star Wars impressions.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the comments were saying that he's actually a full-time or whatever comedian, so maybe he'll do comedy when he shows up next. I thought the Star Wars impressions were really good. My dad loves Star Wars. I showed it to him. He thought that they were really good. But we were like, what is he gonna do next round? Like, is he gonna do a different movie or something? Like, what is he going to do the next round?
Yeah. I agree.
Like, I wonder if people think of that, or like people who audition. I wonder if they're like, okay, so like if I make it through, I'm gonna do this the next round.
I want to talk about that. I feel like we've talked about it before. Like, if we were on America's Got Talent, say we were talented somehow. I'm sure we are, but like, say
excuse me, speak for yourself.
say we were uber talented and we had the ability to like audition for something on America's Got Talent. What do? Do you go like guns blazing out the gate trying for that golden buzzer, or do you take it slow and really improve on the second round? Like, what would you do? Because I have my opinions, but what would you do?
I would take it slow.
Okay.
Because it's relatively easy to be mediocre and make it through the first round, because if you think about it, the first round, the expectations are the lowest. That's literally the lowest that they're gonna be. But it's when you get to the live shows and when America starts voting and all that, you need to be coming in hot. You need to be better, significantly better than everyone else. You can't use up your grand finale in the first round.
Yeah.
And then start downgrading as you go.
Which a lot of acts do. That's what happens with like a lot of the trapeze and contortionist, or like some acts like that. They always do something crazy in the beginning and then like they run out of tricks and then they just end up blindfolding themselves at the end. And it's like, whoa, blindfolds. You know?
Like the people from last season, or with the season before last, or whoever it was. I hated them. I complained about them literally every episode they were in. I hated that act. And then he went and like blindfolded himself and ended up dropping her. And they still went through over like the opera guy who was excellent. And I was like, this man, he killed it every single time he went up on stage. Y'all just almost had some woman break her neck and they went through.
Yeah. Like,
that truly just flabbergasted me. I just did not understand that. But what's your opinion on the whole how to come in on the show?
I agree with you. I completely agree. That's my strategy. I would go in, do my talent, because there's plenty of acts that I watch and I'm like, wow, that was amazing. And then they do something else and I was like, wow, that was even more amazing. But it's like they could have stopped at one point during that audition and still have been great. So like that's my idea. It's like do something that makes me great, but not too great. Like I'm not trying to get that golden buzzer. Personally, I don't want it, because then America's going to forget who I am after 3 weeks of like second round auditions. So it's like, by the time I get to the live shows, they're going to be like, who's this? I don't remember these people. Like, these are golden buzzer. Like, haven't seen them in a while. So I'm going to take it slow. I'll get through. Second round, I go whoopoof. Guns freaking blazing. And I do something crazy, because that is really when you need to show the judges, like, I can make it to the live shows. And then by that time I'm on the live shows. America has loved my previous 2 auditions, and then like that's when I like take my great audition and step it up a notch. That's when I do something extra. That's when I do the blindfold. That's when I bring in the fire. That's when I release the hounds. That's when I do everything. Like, but definitely I'm on the take it slow route as well.
Yes. 100% agree. I personally cannot really think off of the top of my head someone that used up their really good act in the beginning. I guess Vicky. I mean, I didn't think she was funny to begin with.
Oh, I could think of plenty of people.
Okay, let me hear. I want to hear.
Do you know Sophie Dawsey?
Yes.
She's like a contortionist, right? And in her first audition, she used a bow and arrow with her feet, and she like shot a target. And she did that in her second audition, like in the second round. She did it in the third, And then by the fourth round, I'm pretty positive all she was doing was aerial acts. Like, I think she dropped the bow and arrow, and I think it just got underwhelming because she, like, okay, first time she did it. Second time she blindfolded herself. Third time she put fire on it. But it's like, what more can she do? She can't do anything. So she had to change up her act completely. She did contortions and she did aerial acts, which is like, it was still good, and I love her. She's a great YouTuber. She uploads videos all the time now. She was really talented. But I think that by the time the end of the season came about, she lost her steam.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's a good example. I really think that all of those kinds of those acts, it's always those aerial acts, or like some weird like foreign brothers that know how to balance on each other's shoulders. It's like they do everything in the first audition, and then by the second audition they do the same exact thing. It's like, that happens every single season. There was another act called like a quick change. Do you remember like the quick change acts? Or like
that's like a magic act, right? Where they like switch or whatever.
Yeah, they switch outfits.
Uh-huh.
But like, okay, that's your act. You're gonna just do it over and over and over again, just different outfits. Once you do it once, the judges in America has to see it 4 more times, 5 more times before you actually win. So like, how you change that up from go to go? Like, you don't. So yeah, I think there's a bunch of different acts that end up like that. But that's just me. I still like them. They still do really good, and they still wow me. They're all incredible, but I think they lose their steam eventually. One more quick thing about this season, or like going from season to season. So we kind of both just mentioned how acts lose their steam, or acts can get old after a while. One thing that annoyed me that I heard on this season was that they compare contestants from season to season. And we both said before we started recording, this season is not doing much for us. In my opinion, it's not doing much for me either. But what are your opinions about comparing contestants from season to season? Like, do you think it's fair to compare a magician now to Shin Lim or to a comedian from last season?
I don't think it's fair at all.
Great.
Because, how do I word this? Because first of all, granted, let's say singers, because that's very easy to talk about because there's a billion singers on the show. Let's say we have our little Shawn Mendes from last season who sang, I don't know, what's a song? Some Lumineers song. And then we have, we have someone singing Hey Ho last season. And then we have our Shawn Mendes 2.0 singing some Imagine Dragons song. Yeah. Granted, it is the same kind of thing. I shouldn't be compared to someone from last season. Like, we're not thinking about last season. Like, you should be thinking about me. Am I good enough? Not, yeah, he's good, but the guy from last season was better. I'm not competing against the guy from last season. He's done. Right. He's over with. He had his time on the show. It's my turn now. And then also, how are you going to compare these stupid acts to each other? I'm talking about the stupid acts. The singing Donald Trump. Who are you comparing that to? True. The sumo wrestlers who did the noises with their stomachs? The spitting guys? Who are you comparing that to? The rat? Are you comparing the chicken who plays piano and the rat? Yeah. Are you comparing the cats who can... Okay, that's pretty impressive, though. The people who trained the cats last season. Yeah, are you comparing the cats and the dog shows? Like, what? Makes no sense.
I don't like it either. I think it was a magic act. Or it was, it was in the same sort of, reel of them denying all the acts, like all the buzzers, over and over again. And it's like, this just does not compare to what we've seen in seasons past. And it's like an X. It's like, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, just because you've seen it before doesn't make them any less talented. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we've been saying this whole entire episode. It's like, we see basic people over and over again. Doesn't make them not talented. It's just, oh no.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, kind of what you said, but like, if y'all want to see something different and something extravagant, maybe you should stop sending through the same kinds of people every season. and
Yeah.
you would get something a little different every time.
Mm-hmm.
But, we still get our little, I just want to be okay, be okay, be okay, instead of our, boy.
Okay, before we end, because it's been an hour, I have one suggestion. Let's both give a suggestion to the America's Got Talent crew.
Okay.
My suggestion is to limit the amount of acts per category. I swear to God they used to do this back in the day, but they definitely have not done it. They might have a rule, the producers might give them a rule that we just don't know, but I think that they should have a certain amount of singing acts that are allowed through, a certain amount of variety acts, because there's just too many. The ratio by the time the live shows happens is just insane. I think they should limit it. But I don't think they should be forced. I don't want them to be forced to pick two great magicians. If there's only one, don't send through two. That's not what I'm asking. But it's just limit them or somehow even the playing field. Because it is just not fair sometimes that there is 4 singers and 1 dance crew. The odds are just not in that dance crew's favor, in my opinion. Or in the singer's favor. Technically, if there's 4 singers, one of them's bound to be better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Agreed.
recommendation is to limit the amount per act that go through the live shows. That is my recommendation to the America's Got Talent producers. Hit me up if you have any follow-ups.
My recommendation, you actually said this earlier, and I had never thought of this. We need an age limit on this show. We really do. We need an age limit because, like I said, I don't want, y'all don't have to hear it again. I'm just sick of these little kids coming on the show and only getting through because they're kids.
True.
But it's also, actually, now that I think about it, it's also kind of hard because that little kid that plays the violin, he's really good and he should be on the show. But Sally Mae should not. Just because she's singing All She Wants for Christmas is her 2 front teeth and it's cute, doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, maybe put the judges through a little training to not, do that. I remember, this is kind of off topic, but I'll be quick. When they did X Factor, when Britney was on X Factor, she said plenty of times that she liked working with the kids because she's a mom, she likes working with kids, but she also hated it because she would have to eliminate kids at the end of the day. She didn't want to eliminate the kids. But it's if you can't do that as a judge, why are you a judge? I think that they should make sure the judges are willing to send those kids home and not have bias to them because they're little or vice versa because they're old.
Exactly.
So I think that, I think there's a workaround with the age limit. Maybe an age limit on the judges' minds. I don't know. Something like that. But I agree with that too. I agree. That's all I have to say. That is a lot, but we've pretty much covered everything for America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I don't know what else we could talk about.
No,
the history of America's Got Talent.
I love the show. I love watching other franchises of the show. Britain's Got Talent is really funny too. Some of those acts are good. Mm-hmm. The hosts on that show, the 2 guys, if you've seen YouTube videos, they're really funny. They're good. I don't know. I liked AGT The Champions. I liked seeing all the acts from around the world. I love the franchise, and I'll continue to watch it just like I have been. There are, its kinks and, the things that I hate about it, but I also hate a lot of things about a lot of other TV shows. So I wouldn't take it personally, AGT, but that's all I gotta say.
I agree. I love the show. I've just barely started watching it. I just started watching it 2 years ago, for real watching it. Mm-hmm. I love it. I look forward to it every season. Granted, I usually forget that it's on.
You do.
But I watch it on demand. I love watching it. I really do love this show. And I love it so much that I'm willing to come on here and talk about the things that I don't like. So hopefully someone who is very important, someone that has some authority with this show will hear it and change it.
Yes. And if there is someone listening, just know that I have been watching the show since a long time ago, since Sharon Osbourne and Piers Morgan were judges. So I have a lot of experience with my likeness to America's Got Talent, and I don't know what I'm saying, but like, I'm a fan. And
shameless plug.
And not to toot my own horn, but I am a fan. Take my word for it. Things need to be fixed on America's Got Talent. Is that it? Is that all we have to say?
I think that's it.
Well, Kendall, it was fun being back on our podcast.
It was.
It's kind of our first episode, but our
Yes.
second.
Our little older episodes. I don't even remember what we talked about in them before.
I think we talked about. I actually don't. We talked about some trend on Twitter.
Probably.
Yeah.
But thank you, everyone who listened, whether you only listened for a minute or for an hour. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Make sure you guys come back, subscribe, because we are literally going to be talking about the most random things on this podcast. We're going to talk about anything.
Yes, and we don't care if anyone listens or not. We're still going to do it because this is what we do on FaceTime. So why not record it?
Exactly.
Yes.
So once again, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes. And just remember, all we are small YouTubers with
Big mouths.